Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, 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 Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka. So we are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, texts 13 and 14. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami santushtaha satatam yogi संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढ़निश्चयः मयि अर्पिता मनोबुद्धिर यो मद्भक्त समे प्रियः. That's the verse. and we discussed Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary yesterday. That will help us to remember this verse. Actually, you can memorize this verse easily if you remember the connections, how one line is leading to the next. Okay, so if anyone needs to go first, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll just go in alphabetical order. So we'll just go in order then. Achyut Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj, all glories to the Simple Text.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji, 13 and 14.
Advishta sarvabhutanam maitri karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukhasami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drudha nischaya mayarpita mano buddhir yomad bhakta same priyaha. Translation by Translation: one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, is mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Advesta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukha shami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchaya mayarpita mano buddhir yoma bhakta same priya. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anita will read last, Mataji, please.
Okay. Saujanya Mataji, you need to go.
Yes, Mataji, if I can.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drudha nischaya mayarpita mano buddhir yomad bhaktascha me priyaha. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyone else needs to go? No, right? We'll just go in alphabetical order now. Inia, Inba, Jai Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchayaha mayarpita mano buddhir yomad bhakta same priyaha. Translation: one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Yes.
Very nice.
Inya?
She says so fast, but very accurate. Words are so beautiful. No mistakes only. Hare Krishna.
Inya?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Mataji and Prabhuji are there? Jai Shri Mataji and Jai Ganesh Prabhu are there?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखाशमी सन्तुष्ट सततं योगी यतात्मा धृतनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर् यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious but translation, one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Advesha sarvabhutanam maitrakarna eva cha nirmamo nirankaraha samadukha sukakshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchayaha maya pita mano buddhir yomat bhakta same priyaha. Translation, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मित्रकरुणा एव च निर्माणो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सततं दृढनिश्चयः
Yatatma. Drida Nishchaya.
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मया अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्त्या स मे प्रियः. Translation. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Hare Krishna. Isha.
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां मैत्र कर्ण एव च निर्ममो निरहंकारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Madhava.
सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मया पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, all satisfied, self-controlled, and is engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. He is a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Rasapriya.
अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, so the devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Advaita Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Eva Cha Nirmamo Nirahara Samadukha Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukha Kshami Santushta Satatam Yogi Yatatma Dradhanishchayaha Mayi Arpita Mano Buddhir Yomad Bhakta Same Priyaha. Translation. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-confident, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma drita nischaya mayi arpita mano buddhir yomad bhaktas same priya. Translation. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think of himself as a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled from false ego. No,
And engaged in devotional service.
Unengaged.
and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Yes. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam mitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dradhanishchaya mayarpit mano buddhi yo mad bhakta same priya. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entity, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुणैव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कार समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पिता मनः बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with a determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Maybe if everyone
After
if
some time?
it's okay with, after some time.
Okay. So after I kind of mixed up some names, so I'm looking for the next order. So after Medha,
Prajna also has to read. I finished reading.
she needs to go. She can read if she needs to go. Yeah.
No, anytime in the order, but I finished. So I just thought she's
Yes, yes, Mataji. I'll call her. So Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna eva cha nirmamo nirhankaraha samadukha sukha kshamihi santuštah satatam yogi yatatma drirnishchayah maya arpito mano buddhir yo madbhaktah same priyah. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
So next Pragnya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Advesta sarvabhutana maitreya karuna eva cha nirmano nirakaraha samadukha sukha kshami santusta satatam yogi yatatma nischaya maya arpita mano buddhir yo madbhakta sami priya. One who is not envious but is still a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself as a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence is fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अन्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां मैत्राकां करुण एव च निर्ममो
Nirmamo.
निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखं क्षमी सन्तुष्टो सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Did anyone not recite yet? Yeah, Nilambari Radha Mataji. Nilambari Radha Mataji, go ahead, Mataji. Recite the verse.
Hare Krishna
Nilambari
Mataji,
Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Adhishta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankara Sama Dukha Sukha Shami Santushta Shatatam Yogi Yatatma Dridab Nishchaya Mai Arpita Mano Buddhir Yomad Bhakta Shame Priya. Translation: one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself, sorry,
A
does not
proprietor.
think, what is
One,
that? The
a
word
proprietor. Proprietor.
oh, okay. Okay, let me. Okay, yes, I got it. Who does not think himself a proprietor, free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self uh, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a uh, devotee, right?
Yes.
Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji. Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyone else? Did everyone recite? Did anyone not recite? Okay. I'll recite also. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 13-14. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami santushtaha satatam yogi yatatma dridhanishchayah mayyarpita mano buddhir yo madbhaktah same priyaha. One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who is who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, and is free from a sense of false ego. No, he is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, satisfied, santushtah satatam, who is satisfied at all times, self-controlled, engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. I made some mistakes somewhere. Who is tolerant, always satisfied. Okay, always satisfied. Okay. Let's begin reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19. King Yayati achieves liberation. So, King Yayati achieves liberation. In the previous verse, we saw that Yayati Maharaj, not Yayati Maharaj, here Sukadev Goswami is saying, having enjoyed sense gratification for many, many years, O King Parikshit, Yayati was accustomed to it, but he gave it up entirely in a moment, just as a bird flies away from the nest as soon as its wings have grown. So Yayati Maharaj left home after instructing his wife Devyani, preparing her, then dividing his kingdom amongst his sons. He returned the youth of his son Puru, and then he left home. And he left home as if he was never attached to family or his opulences or his kingdom. He just left, just like a baby bird. When it gets wings, it just flies away as if it never belonged to the nest here, or it's on its own now, like that, with no attachment. That's what it means. Next verse, Aditi Lata Mataji. Satatra nirmukta samasta sanga atmanubhutya vidutatrilinga pare male brahmani vasudeve lebhe gatim bhagavatim pratitaha. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Because King Yayati completely surrendered unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, he was freed from all contamination of the material modes of nature. Because of his self-realization, he was able to fix his mind upon the transcendence, Parabrahman Vasudeva, and thus he ultimately achieved the position of an associate of the Lord.
Because King Yayati completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Remember, King Yayati said to Devyani that he was going to leave home to go and live in the forest amongst the animals. Why? So that he can meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead with no attachments. If you stay at home, then it's hard to focus because you have so many attachments, right? Especially lust. That was the problem. So he said he wanted to go to the forest and live along with the animals there in the forest. But the idea is to meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to depend on the Supreme Lord. So that's exactly what he did. Because King Yayati completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, he was freed from all contamination of the material modes of nature. Yes. So when you surrender to the Supreme Lord, what do you do when you surrender to the Supreme Lord? And it is said completely. So surrender you may have little bit, but full surrender actually happens when you get full Shraddha, full faith. So completely surrendered. That means now he is in pure devotional service. Complete surrender to the Supreme Lord means pure devotional service. And if you are actually doing pure devotional service, then everything is achieved simply by pure devotional service without separately endeavoring for, becoming free from your, whatever obstacles you may have. They're all removed by the power of pure devotional service. But in other paths, it's not like that. First, you have to purify yourself, right? By Nishkama Karma Yoga, you have to purify yourself. Yourself means your antakarna, your heart has to be purified, and then you start the path. But in bhakti, it is so nice. All that is required is surrender. You have to surrender. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja, Krishna says, isn't it? So you have to simply surrender to the Supreme Lord. sounds simple, but that is not simple actually. I mean, Srila Prabhupada says it is easy for the simple and it is difficult for the complicated. Those who are complicated people like us, for us, surrender is the difficult process. But those who are simple hearted, for them, surrender is easy. So, but that's all that is required. Don't have faith in anything else, even if you're doing other things, you're just doing it because you don't want, right, others to set example to society, right, to show people. You understand this idea of setting example to society, why we, even though those who are, especially we are talking about pure devotees, they are pure devotees, but still they do karma, they do jnana, they don't have any faith in that. Take example of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a judge, right? That's karma. So if he's a pure devotee, he has a family, he has so many children. Why is he doing that? Because uh, they are great personalities, big leaders. Seeing them, ordinary people will copy them. Yad yad acharati shreshtas, tad tad evetaro jana. Right? Whatever behavior they see in important people, great people or leaders, they will try to copy their activities. Now, the people in general, they are not ananya bhaktas. They are not qualified to just leave karma. According to your qualification, you have to act. So, if this great person who's a pure devotee, if he just gave up his family, he doesn't need to stay in family, he doesn't need to do his job. If he just left everything, would it be wrong on his part? No, it won't be wrong on his part because he's a pure devotee. He has no need to do any of these things. Still, he does that. Why he does that? Because all these other people who are not yet qualified for pure devotional service, looking at him, they will also give up their families. Why they will give up their families? Because they got Shraddha in pure devotional service? No. They'll say, oh, this is such an encumbrance. I have to work and maintain my family. Oh, he left the family. I'll also leave. And it will be justified because he left, I'm also leaving. And like this, many people will leave. Their young wives and children, they'll just leave and they'll go. Is this good? No. There will be a disturbance in society. So that is why, for the sake of other people who are not yet qualified, who didn't develop full Shraddha to surrender to the Lord completely, so for their sake, they show this is how you, like Arjun. Arjun is a pure devotee, but Krishna is telling him, you do the duty of a Kshatriya. Why? The duty of a Kshatriya, Arjun, a pure devotee, doesn't need to act like a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Brahmana. He doesn't need. But here, Arjun is actually playing the role of a common man. He is not a common man. He is an eternal associate of Krishna. But Krishna gave him that moha and shoka, what we are reading now in the first chapter. Krishna purposely gives that shoka and moha, that illusion and lamentation to Arjun. Why? Because that is the situation of the conditioned souls in this world. Then when someone is in that situation, what type of instructions does he need? How can he elevate himself from that condition? So that is why even great devotees like Arjun, they also perform their duties as a Kshatriya to set example for now common people can follow in his footsteps. And by doing their duties, by doing their karma, now they will also progress. And eventually they can, they will gradually, it's a slower process. If you follow your karma, even if you are a karmi, because of your obedience to the Shastra, that is also preventing you from falling down to hell. If you are actually following, showing obedience to the scriptures, of course, you don't get liberated by doing karma. You don't get liberated. You have to take to a transcendental process. Anyway, ultimately, even there also you have to take to bhakti. So the point is, why do great personalities still do karma? Simply to set example to others. So King Yayati was completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when one is completely surrendered, then bhakti takes care of everything. Or if there are any contaminations, Krishna says, right? Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahami aham. I will take care of whatever he is lacking. I will bring to him personally, and whatever he already has, I will preserve it. This is Krishna's assurance to a person who is completely surrendered to Krishna. So, this devotee also who's completely surrendered to Krishna, he doesn't worry what will happen to me, how will I get my meal today, how will I pay my rents, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my wife. He doesn't worry. Here, what you have to see is the consciousness of the devotee. We are not saying that you should act like that or I should act like that. But when someone is elevated in Krishna consciousness, a pure devotee, what is his consciousness, we should understand. He does not worry about anything. Why? Because he's completely surrendered to Krishna. Yesterday we were seeing 12, 13, 14, the verse that we are memorizing. Samadukha sukha kshami santushtaha satatam. Right? Under all circumstances, he always remains satisfied, whether he gets something on its own accord, little bit or nothing, is simply dependent upon the Supreme Lord. But he will never go and take shelter of anyone else. He's always engaged in devotional service. Mare Krishna rakhe ke, rakhe Krishna mare ke. That's his conviction. If Krishna keeps me, then I will stay. If Krishna wants to kill me, who will protect me? My bank balance, these doctors, the medical system, nothing can protect me if Krishna wants to kill me. But if Krishna wants to protect me, who can kill me? Nothing can kill me. So he simply depends upon Krishna. And it doesn't mean that he's demanding, now I am doing your devotional service, so you should provide everything to me. And if I don't get one meal, I'll go and complain. I'm doing devotional service to you and you're not giving me, you're not taking care of my family members. What is this? Not like that. Not like that. Dependent on the Lord. You can treat me in whichever way you like. And I'm just your servant. This is his consciousness. This is Ananya Bhakta. When someone has this type of dependence or surrender on the Lord, then how does the Lord reciprocate? This devotee has full confidence in Krishna. And if he does not get a meal or something, what will he do? Or if somebody is mistreating him, beating him, then he will think, oh, this is my own prarabdha. I was meant to suffer like this. He will never, ever find fault with the Lord. I am serving you all the time and still you are giving me a difficulty? Never. Yes, Mataji. Shikshashtakam. Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtamam. Yes. Completely dependent on the Lord. And you treat me in whichever way you like that. So, this is his consciousness. And when a devotee's consciousness is like this, the Lord is also, they are equally, the devotee is completely surrendered and the Lord also becomes completely protective of such a devotee. He says, I will personally carry on my back whatever my devotee needs. I take responsibility of his maintenance, his bodily maintenance. I personally take responsibility. He will not have to suffer for anything. The Lord also reciprocates. Then you will say, oh, but some devotees we see, they are such nice devotees, surrendered devotees, how much they had to suffer. Why? You can ask. Yes, there are examples like that of devotees. That's another reason. Sometimes the Lord purposely gives, right, some difficulty. You can take example of Sudama Vipra, right? Poverty stricken, like that. So if he's such a surrendered devotee, why he's getting suffering like this, you can ask. So actually he's not getting any suffering. You look at Sudama Brahman's consciousness. What was his consciousness? Was he thinking, I served Krishna so nicely. Why there is no food in my house? Why my children are starving? What is his consciousness? So you look at the consciousness of this pure devotee. Sudama Brahman is not thinking like that. In fact, when his wife said, you should go to your friend and you should ask him for some, help. He's your classmate and he's the king, he's in Dwaraka in such opulence. He will certainly help you with some money. No, please. And why the wife is saying? Not for herself. She's saying because she cannot tolerate to see her husband starving. So she's sending her husband. And the husband is thinking, how can I go and ask Krishna for something? But this is a good excuse to go and see my friend. I haven't seen him in such a long time. The last time I saw was when we were classmates in Sandipani Muni's ashram. Now I'll get an opportunity to go and see my friend. So that's why he's going. Not because he wants to go and ask him. Even after going there, he doesn't ask Krishna anything. He doesn't ask Krishna, why you have come here? I have come here because I wanted some help from you. Never. A devotee never asks Krishna. But Krishna knows. He knows. So you may question then why, in the first place, why Krishna should give that suffering. We see some of our really exalted devotees have health crisis, isn't it? Health issues, old age, maybe they become even, like so many problems they may have. Then you'll say, how? By bhakti, if all kleshagni shubhada, right? All sufferings are removed by bhakti, and such advanced devotees, how they are getting these problems? Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. Why they are suffering? Of course, in Guru's case, it's a whole different story. We know that. Gurus take on, Srila Prabhupada said this, they take the karma of the disciples. But in addition to that, in pure devotees' cases, whenever we, third party, because the person who's going through it, he'll never complain. You just observe. You can see that devotee's consciousness. He will never, rather, when somebody is praying, his disciples or other devotees are praying to Krishna, Krishna, please help, this devotee. Or he says, why you're disturbing Krishna? Don't pray like that. So that devotee's consciousness is, and in some cases we see, they may say, you pray, not because they want to get better by your prayers, by your praying, otherwise you're not praying only. We are so busy with our, earning money and this weddings and that and this, we don't get any time to pray to Krishna sincerely. But this is an excuse now. Sincerely you'll pray to Krishna, Krishna, please help my Guru Maharaj. Not because, okay, you do extra parikrama of Tulsi Maharaj. You are doing more and more. You are connecting with Krishna. A devotee, pure devotee, never asks anything for himself. He will never say that, his mode is, why you're disturbing Krishna for me, like that. So he will never, whatever he goes through, he has no suffering. We saw, right? Sama dukkha sukha kshami means what? That means whether he is in dukkha or sukha, materially for him, it makes no difference. Because his only consciousness is that his only pleasure is in glorifying Krishna and is in, hearing about Krishna's glories, chanting Krishna's glories, rendering devotional service to Krishna, serving Krishna's mission. That's all. Whether he is in hell or heaven, he'll do only that activity. So for him, hell or heaven makes no difference. Happiness or distress. So even if it is distress, he's not seeing that as a distress. And if it is happiness, he's not seeing that as a happiness. Then where is the question of complaining? There is no question. But still, when we see suffering, so he is not seeing, but others, we from outside, when we see, why? If everything is coming from bhakti, why this devotee is suffering? Many times questions come up, right? There's a reason for that. Not one reason, there is 3 reasons for that. One reason is Krishna only gives that suffering to the devotee to make his bhakti even more intense. So, just like separation, right? When Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, what happened to all the Brajbasis? Their prema, love for Krishna, was intensified to such heights. It was so condensed out of separation. So, like that, sometimes there's no fault in the devotee, not that he committed some offense, therefore he fell down, like in the case of Bharat Maharaj. You may think he did some offense in the past, therefore now he fell down by seeing this deer, he got attachment, and then he fell down from his bhakti path. You may think like that. Of course, 2 acharyas gave 2 different commentaries. We are discussing from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. He says that no, there was no fault on the part of Bharat Maharaj. It was given to him that, fall down was given to him by Krishna. Why? Because that temporary fall down or separation from that bhakti will intensify his bhakti. What happened after he gave up his body as Bharat Maharaj? He took birth as a deer. But even in the body of deer, he would always stay in the association of devotees who are discussing Krishna Katha. He didn't go around with other deer. And then when he came back as Jad Bharat, we see what was the level of his bhakti. When will you see that? When he actually speaks to Raghugan Maharaj. So sometimes intentionally Krishna gives some difficulty to the devotee, because during that difficulty, when he goes through some suffering like this, it only intensifies his bhakti. It brings him to higher and higher. Yes, Mataji. Yes. So, but you cannot tell what is the reason in this case. But we can just tell you the 3 different reasons. So one reason is this: Krishna is giving. Another reason is a devotee he's doing pure devotional service, still he falls sick, or something happens to him. Why? Why bhakti should get everything? All suffering should go, then why suffering is coming? This is bhakti. Devi is hiding. Bhakti will give everything, but she will not show. She will not show it. You understand? So, by bhakti, if you simply did bhakti, and we are talking about Ananya Bhaktas who do only bhakti, then there should be no difficulties in that person's life, because bhakti gives everything to him. She gives liberation, she gives all material comforts, good health, long life, and go back to Godhead, Krishna Prema, everything you'll get from with bhakti. Do you doubt that bhakti will give everything? No. If one is a pure devotee, he will not doubt it. He will not doubt. That means he will not have any faith in anything, only in bhakti. But then, if bhakti is giving everything, why we don't see that we are getting everything? When I get cold and cough, if I simply chant Hare Krishna, it should go away. Why it is not going away? Okay, in my case, I'm not a pure devotee. In even those who are pure devotees, they keep taking medicines, they go to the doctor and all that. Why? Pure devotees, they shouldn't get any of these things. Bhakti is hiding her glories. You know why? Because if she shows it, that every time anyone who does bhakti, then that person will get the result, right? Whatever result he wants. Like you've seen in Tukaramji's story, his son becomes sick, and the mother is Matlab Tukaramji's wife, she's like very angry. This boy is sick for so many days. He has such high fever. You haven't taken him to doctor. You haven't given him any medication. So what does Tukaramji say? He says, my dear son, you simply chant the name of the Lord. That is the best medicine. Say after me, Panduranga, Panduranga. And the boy starts saying Panduranga. But the wife has she doesn't have faith. So she gets mad. What is this? And she just takes the boy away. She doesn't let him chant. But actually, if anyone chants or any form of bhakti, when he takes shelter of the Lord, when he does bhakti, everything he should get. Right? His health will be cured and everything. But if bhakti does this every time anyone who takes shelter of her, what will happen? Then people will use bhakti for cheap things. Like, I want 1 kg potatoes. I have to go to the store and buy. Instead of that, I'll say Hare Krishna and the potatoes will manifest in front of me. And why I have to cook? Cooking also, I'll say Hare Krishna and the sabji will be ready. Right? So people will stop doing all work. They won't do any jnana, no tapasya, nothing. I'll just do bhakti and I'll get whatever I want. So you may say, oh, this is wonderful, Mataji. If everyone does bhakti, isn't it wonderful? Is there a problem here? Everyone does only bhakti and whatever they want, they get. Is there any problem in this?
Yeah, it becomes like a gimmick. It's a magic show.
Exactly. They don't have shraddha. They don't have that faith in bhakti. They don't have surrender to the Supreme Lord. But they want to just use bhakti, right? Exploit bhakti to get whatever they want, material results. And also, because we are lazy, I don't want to work anymore. I won't do any work. I'll just get like magic, right? Just get whatever I want. Is that good in society? No. According to your qualification, you should do. So if you have the qualification to do bhakti, then you can give up. You don't have to do any work. Bhakti will give. But if so, this is the problem. If bhakti just starts showing her glory to everyone, people will exploit her unnecessarily for petty things. They will use her cheaply. But what is bhakti? Bhakti is the most valuable thing. You can get the highest possible result of Krishna prema by doing bhakti. What bhakti is able to give, no one else can give. Krishna prema can come only through bhakti. And bhakti must be for that purpose only, to please Krishna. Instead of that, people will start using bhakti to get liberation. They will do bhakti to go to Swarga. They will do bhakti to cure their diseases and everything else. This is not right. That is why bhakti does not show her glory. She will hide. That means even someone is doing pure devotional service, still she's not showing the result. That person has full conviction. He has no problem who is actually doing pure devotional service. This is for others, the rest of the people. So then those who are faithless, right? They'll say, what is there in this bhakti? See, these people are doing, you remember? Kolavecha Sridhar. Day and night he chants Hare Krishna, still he has no food in his house. His roof is leaking. What is the use of your chanting Hare Krishna? You also chant Goddess Durga's Chandi's name. See, we are so opulent. You also do this. Like this, people will say. So those who have no faith, they are filtered nicely. When bhakti hides her glories, they are filtered. So you may say, but the devotees are suffering, no Mataji. No, the devotees are not suffering. They have no suffering. That was already said. Material pain or pleasure makes no difference to them. Their source of pleasure is only Krishna consciousness. So for them, it makes no difference. That's second reason. First reason is, I'll take your questions, just a minute. First reason is, Krishna is giving it to bring that person to a higher level of bhakti. Second reason is,
Bhakti Maharani is hiding her glory so that people will not use her cheaply. And related to the second one only is the third reason, that if everyone starts using bhakti for whatever they want, then nobody will do any karma, jnana, yoga, no other sadhanas in society. All these sadhanas are also mentioned in the scriptures, right? According to the qualification, each person should follow that particular sadhana. Like the other day, Saujanya Mataji had asked, so I explained that day, that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. One who is full of material desires, he is eligible to do karma only. He is not eligible for pure devotional service. One who is completely detached, he is eligible for jnana. And one who has full faith, he is eligible for bhakti. So according to your eligibility, you have to follow that particular sadhana. But here, if bhakti starts showing her glory, there won't be any other sadhanas in society. There won't be any other sadhanas. And everyone is doing bhakti. Are they doing bhakti? No, they're just using bhakti to get like a credit card, right? Whatever we want, we'll just keep taking. So this is also not right. So to give space, to give room for other sadhanas, bhakti does not show her glories. So that people don't use her cheaply, she won't show her glories. And the Supreme Lord willingly, purposely gives suffering, apparently suffering, to the devotees to bring them to a higher level. So for this reason, we will see that even though bhakti is capable of giving everything, sometimes we see that devotees, even advanced devotees, they are becoming old or they are becoming sick, whatever, right? But those who have faith, they will not be bewildered by seeing these things, right? They don't become bewildered. And the person who's going through that also does not become bewildered because he's already an exalted devotee. Okay, so Priyanka Haripriya Mataji and Aditi Lata Mataji, you had raised your hands. Go ahead. Aditi Lata Mataji, go ahead. You're driving?
Yes, Mataji. So, one second. Yes. So, what I was wondering, that if, like you were saying that people will start misusing. So, it is normal. So you have to have faith to have bhakti, anyways, isn't it so? So, why are you saying that people will not surrender, they will misuse? They won't get bhakti if they don't go to that stage. So
No,
why
it's not like that. See, when you say bhakti, we are also doing bhakti, but we are not in Shuddha Bhakti yet. We don't have that surrender, because surrender means, then the definition is Anya Vilashita Shunyam, all that, those three conditions. So therefore we are not actually doing bhakti, but we are aspiring to be pure devotees. Okay, we are aspiring to be pure devotees, so we are endeavoring. That's good. But what about those people, they do Bhagavad Saptah for 1 week, because they know by doing this Bhagavad Saptaha, you'll get this result and that result, right? Someone will get liberation and the ghost will go away and so many things. What do you call that? You think they all got faith in bhakti and they have surrendered? That's why they're doing Bhagavad Saptaha?
No,
after the
but
7
then
after
then
7
it
days,
will
then
not
they go
work,
back
no?
to their... Huh?
But bhakti will not work for them, no? Bhakti does not work for
It's not like
people
that.
who is
See,
manipulative.
it's not like that. Bhakti is transcendental. So Sakshat Bhakti. What is Sakshat Bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Like this, 64 limbs are there. This is Sakshat Bhakti. Sakshat Bhakti means even if the performer does not know the value of bhakti, unknowingly also, what to speak of unknowingly, even in trying to make fun of devotees, if he says, oh, the Hare Krishnas are going there, he's making fun. But even in that way, when he utters the name Hare Krishna, that becomes bhakti. This is called bhakti abhasa. Abhasa means it has the semblance of bhakti, and even this bhakti abhasa gives him the result. So bhakti is so powerful. It's not that only when one gets full surrender, then only bhakti will show the result. It's not like that. Sakshat bhakti means, you heard that story that I told you before about this mouse, the rat during Kartik, right? Went
Yes,
and,
yes.
yeah. So the rat, what Shraddha and what Sharanagati the rat had? Nothing. It went to eat that ghee. And because the mouth was on fire, it started jumping in front of the deity because the mouth was on fire. It was already in the temple altar in the night. The doors were closed, no pujaris were there. But when the mouth was on fire, it was just jumping. But that was because it is Sakshat Bhakti in front of the deity, waving the lamp. It got the result of showing a lamp to the deity in Kartik. What intention that rat had? It didn't have, right? No surrender. Still it got the result. So this is bhakti. So anyone who does, he'll get the result. Bhakti is so powerful. Bhakti is capable of giving the result. That's the point.
Not highest result, no? Because what you
Yeah,
are
not
saying,
highest result. Depending on what you want. If you want the highest, then bhakti can give you the highest. But if you want liberation, bhakti can give liberation. If you want to become a software engineer, then by doing bhakti, you can become a software engineer. You want to become the president of the country, by doing bhakti, you can become the president. Anything you want, you can get.
this is what becomes a little bit difficult to understand. When you say that way, that seems that bhakti is so easy. But then we are purposely trying to do bhakti so that we go to Goloka and we serve Krishna, all those things. Then why is it difficult for us? And why then will it be easy for them who is asking for material thing, and bhakti will be so easy for them to achieve?
So there are two things here. What we are aspiring for is Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti is different. Sakshat Bhakti is different. When you do Sakshat Bhakti 24 hours, when you do Sakshat Bhakti means Shravanam Kirtanam. Like this, you do 24 hours for the pleasure of Krishna. Again and again you are doing. And with no other desire. That means you don't ask for Swarga, you don't ask for liberation, nothing. That is Shuddha Bhakti. That's what we are aspiring for. And that, to do that, you need full Shraddha. That's what we are aspiring for. And what is the result of doing Ananya Bhakti like this? The highest is you'll get Krishna Prema. Anything valuable will not come cheaply. You have to pay the price. So, but what I am saying is Sakshat Bhakti. That means not 24 hours, even once. Ajamil, at the time of name giving ceremony of his son, he named his son Narayana. So the father has to utter the name of the son, child. So he said Narayana. That utterance of the name of Narayana at that time, that one chanting, because Ajamil didn't have any offenses, he had never committed any offenses. Because of that, all his past, present, and future sins were removed by once chanting. Now, anyone who knows this, what will he do? Like, you go to church and confess, and then now I'm free, now I'll go and commit sins because I know next Sunday again I can go and confess. Oh, once chanting Narayana will remove all my offenses. Okay, all my sins, not offenses, all my sins. Okay, so now I'll chant Narayana, and again in future, the next day again I'll go and commit sins because I know
that will become offense.
that will become offense. But that's the whole point. That will become offense. That is why Bhakti Maharani does not show her glory. That anyone who says once she'll give whatever they want, she is of course capable and they will get the result also. But she won't show it. They will get. It's not that you won't get it, but it won't be visible. You understand? In the rat's case, the rat got the result right away. It died there on the spot, and in the next life, the rat was born as a queen. And when she became a queen, She gave so much charity to devotees and all that, and then she got liberation after that queen body, that rat. What was the only thing that the rat did? It tried to eat the lamp that was left inside the altar all night. For the ghee, that too greedily it went for the ghee, but because of that jumping, that was counted as offering lamp to the Lord. That one thing, unknowingly, without intention, it did. That is the power of bhakti. Yes, so bhakti hides her glory, but in some cases she also reveals. She shows her glory in some cases. Why? If she never shows her glory, then who will have faith? Even devotees need to have faith, right? That bhakti actually works. So therefore, in some cases, she will show. For example, Dhruva Maharaj. In his same body, he just went to Vaikuntha. So some cases she will show. But that does not mean she will show in every case. When she starts showing in every case, then everyone will start exploiting her. And they will use her to get material results. They have no faith. They have no shraddha. They don't want Krishna prema. They are still attached to this world only, and they want material things in this world, and they want it easy way. Instead of working at karma means you have to work like a donkey, literally. That is karma, right? Karmis means asses. That's what it is said, right? So you have to work. That means beasts of burden. You have to work so much, and after working so hard, you get little bit of result. This is karma. So if you get an alternative where you don't have to work, you simply say Hare Krishna and you get whatever you want, anyone will go for that. But that's not fair. It's an offense, as you said. Of course, it's an offense. So that is why actually Bhakti Maharani is protecting that person from offense by not showing her glory. And these people will say, Arey, we are also dying, these devotees are also dying. What is the point in, no onion garlic, no meat eating, no tea, coffee? What is this? Their whole life, no enjoyment. And ultimately they die, we also die. Because that's what they're seeing. They don't see the glory of bhakti because bhakti is hiding the glory. Let's enjoy. Don't care for this. Why? Because they don't have shraddha and bhakti. So they say, forget it. We'll go on our vacation. We will enjoy. You understand?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. It's difficult, like I'm not a pure person, so it's difficult because I also like shortcuts. So
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I want special mercy. So I want that mercy that Bhakti Maharani will give me, that mercy. Okay, you are trying, at least not for yourself. I'm not trying to enjoy, like material energy. So that way I should get some, some liberation,
And
something.
yeah, and you get it too. You get it too. Bhakti gives whatever. That's the thing. However, in any way they approach, ye yathamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamiham. Krishna says, as one approaches me, I'll give him. And it is, if somebody approaches the Supreme Lord instead of approaching someone else, some political leader or some demigod or someone, if he approaches the Supreme Lord, the results are auspicious. Even if you get liberation, even if you want, some opulence or something, when you approach the Supreme Lord, and if you perfect that path, right, that means, like, it's not that you come, you take and you go away. That is namam dushkritino muda means he will come, he wants something, he will take from the Lord and he'll go away. He won't worship him afterwards. He will just come. What is the word in English, right? Opportunist. He will just come when he needs something, he will take it and then he'll go away. He won't even look back. That is a mudha. He's not even a human being. He's actually a beast. He approaches the Lord, takes material result, and then he'll done. But Chaturvida bhajante mam, Jana Sukritin Arjuna, those four people, they are actually they worship the Lord. They want some opulence. They are some in distress. They pray to the Lord, I'm in distress. And after the distress goes away, they feel grateful. They continue to worship the Lord. After the Lord gives them wealth, they're thankful, they continue to worship. So these are Varnashram people, the 4 types of people. So even if I want liberation, if I stick to the Lord, right, then the Lord will give me liberation. I will get liberation on the same planet as the Lord, and I will get opulences and everything. But the point is, this is not the highest possible result. That's all. You can get liberation. But if you want love of Krishna, like the Brajbasis, that won't come so cheaply. So you have to, right? As much money you're paying, that type of product you will get. So if you want love of Godhead, then surrender, complete surrender, nothing less than that. Full surrender is required to start with. No anyabhilashita shunyam, no other desire, no liberation. But that is where we want to be. But like you said, we have to be realistic and we have to be truthful. This is my consciousness at present, right? This is my consciousness. And we can analyze, from my desires and from my activities, I can analyze which category do I fall in. I'm thinking I'm a pure devotee, but actually, am I a pure devotee? I'll see that I'm far away from a pure devotee, from being a pure devotee, right? Like that. So yes, so don't worry that I'm not there yet, because we are all in the same boat. We are not there yet, but we should have the destination in our mind. That's where we want to go. So if we want to go there, uh, the path is also given, right? We have to just, especially Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Very simple. Mahaprabhu said, you perform congregational chanting, and then you discuss Krishna Katha, chant the Lord's names in japa, worship the deity. These are the instructions Mahaprabhu gives. We read in Chaitanya Charitamrita now, right? So if we do that, then yeah, by
Mataji,
his mercy.
destination is also very confusing, Mataji, because like when you ask for those things that I want to serve you, no matter where you keep, when we read the pastimes of many devotees, like when they were preaching in Russia, China, we hear that they went to jail, died, tortured, so
Yeah.
many things. So
Yeah.
then when I think myself, if I'm put in that position, oh my God, that thought itself makes me shiver, thinking that how can I ask that wherever you want? Although I
Good.
want to help,
Yes.
I want to serve Krishna, but I can't put myself. A little bit of suffering in comfortable life, that in itself is giving me so much pain. So how will
Yes.
I do that?
Correct.
How can
Very
I do
nice.
that?
Yeah. So here, what I have to see is, or meaning you're saying about yourself. So what you have to see is, I don't see how I can be there with my present consciousness. If at this moment I were to be put in that situation, will I be able to pray to Krishna like that? No way, I cannot. Absolutely. So then, what is next step then? Then you have to pray to Krishna, help me to get that consciousness. If I ever face that situation, you give me, Krishna, you give me that strength, that faith, that loyalty, that faithfulness, that I will stand by you and not fall for, not become a victim of fear or temptation. But let me stand with integrity with you, right, as your servant, and not fall for temptation for some material comforts or out of fear. Let me not fall. We can pray like that, and we can be honest. That's what is required. I don't see myself. And that is the whole thing, Mataji. That is the whole thing. When we see the reality, how vulnerable and how helpless we are, that is exactly when you will be able to surrender. If you think that I'm already capable, I'm advanced devotee, I'm able to, You think those devotees were prepared beforehand that this situation will come and this is how? No, that is the test. That is the exam. When do you perform well in the exam? When you do your preparation well ahead of time. Even after doing your preparation, still, even the best students, when they enter the examination hall, they will have that, nervousness, because you don't know, right, how you may perform. Arjun says that when he goes to the battlefield, right, he's the best warrior, but still, that is required also, right? Overconfidence is not good. So, if you feel that, that's when you will feel dependence on the Lord. When you see I'm completely incapable, at every step you will face this actually. If you're actually, truthful, in every stage, in every step, you will actually feel I'm completely, not capable, I'm not capable. Krishna, you help me in this situation, right? So we pray like that in material situations, then why not? Certainly we should pray, when such a situation comes. But yeah, who is able to pray like that? What is the nature of these devotees? Kunti Maharani is praying like this. How exalted they are. So if we do our daily whatever, right, whatever we are learning, hearing, if we take small steps, baby steps to improve, right, every day, every moment we try to improve our consciousness, trying to move towards pure devotional service. Tests will come, whether we are prepared or not, tests will come. Death is certain. Everyone will face death. Whether I will remember Krishna at the time of death or not, of course, it depends on Krishna's mercy. But Krishna's mercy also will come depending on my endeavor, isn't it? It comes. That's already said. Krishna's mercy comes when we do our sadhana, Ananya Bhakti. When we do sadhana, then when Krishna is pleased by our sadhana, then his mercy will come. But if we want to, get the easy way, I won't do sadhana and then Krishna will help me. Why he should help me? What is the difference between that person who's sincerely struggling to be Krishna conscious and another person who's taking it easily? He's not even taking Krishna consciousness seriously. He has so many other things to do and no time for Krishna consciousness. You think Krishna will reciprocate the same way with both devotees? Then that would not be proper, right? So, yeah, so those devotees are glorious who are able to, in such testing trials, they are able to, say that I'm willing to suffer, but I will not stop chanting Hare Krishna, right? You can understand that they were all very sincere devotees. They've been practicing very sincerely. They have actually surrendered to Krishna. That's when they are able to actually face it. And when I see myself, when I put myself in that situation and I see myself incapable, my God, I cannot imagine myself in that situation. It's good. That will make me very humble that I'm not a pure devotee, but I'm depending on the mercy of Krishna. I'll start becoming serious now. I'll pray to Krishna, help me to make progress in devotional service because I want to become your pure devotee also. Please help me. And Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yokam. You just turn to him and he will give you the intelligence how to progress in bhakti. But we don't have time only for Krishna. Then
Not only that, Mataji. For me, I even call Narsimhadev for nonsense. I mean, any problem. I mean, even material problem also. So he's overworked anyway for my material problems also. So I don't know.
At least you're calling Nrishingadev. You're not, calling someone else. So it's okay. But you understand that this is not yet pure devotional service, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So then
I'm
I
so
want to
much. I have. That's what I don't understand. That when we are so much deep in this material entanglement, how can we even ask for spiritual? Because we are, and we have to first come out of this material entanglement. This is not even possible. I mean, I am finding it very, very difficult, Mataji. Every
Yes,
day.
it's true. And actually, one who actually understands that it is impossible, he's the one who's actually understanding something. One who thinks that, oh, it's fine, he has not understood anything. Yasya amatam matam, yasya matam amatam. Right? Who thinks that he knows, actually, he knows nothing. And one who is convinced that he knows, he doesn't know anything, it's not possible for me to know, he's actually knowing something. He's the one who's actually understanding. So again, the point is, when you're actually realizing that it's completely a hopeless case for me, that's a good situation. That's when you have to surrender to the Lord. That's when you will surrender to the Lord, seeing yourself helpless. Only He can lift me. On my own, I cannot do it. I'll take others also, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji, I need to leave. I just send the message. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, not a question. As I was hearing how you're answering, and Mataji's very, very valid question. The thing is, I just remember two things. Only when you at least put that effort, like how Srila Prabhupada said, self-realization. That is the starting point. And then only we will start one by one. And then Prabhupada is assuring us, you follow these four, and this is the simple path, and he's assuring that we will get that stage. I think that we have to just, at least to myself, I felt, yes, it's practical, whatever is happening, but we every day we need to remind ourselves, then our faith, our to move on, it helps, because it's assured both by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in various ways, and for us, for this difficult thing, Prabhupada is assuring. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, very first canto, all those questions, it's implied that this Kali Yuga will be, that's it. Okay, live with it. No, there is a way to come out of it. We have a easy solution. Those thoughts that came to my mind, Mataji, I just wanted to share. No questions, sir.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know what time it is. Let me see. Yeah, it's 10 minutes past. We didn't read even one shloka. And it's my fault. Anyway, let me just read this. Okay, translation. Mataji read already. Okay. Because King Yayati completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. So that was the point. Completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That caught my attention. So that's how we just went into this whole discussion. Because King Yayati completely surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, he was freed from all contamination of the material modes of nature. Because of his self-realization, he was able to fix his mind upon the transcendence, Parabrahman Vasudeva, and thus he ultimately achieved the position of an associate of the Lord. He went back to Godhead. He became an associate of the Lord. Purport. The word vidhuta, meaning cleansed, is very significant. Vidhunoti suhrit satam, right? Vidhuta means cleaning. Everyone in this material world is contaminated. Karanam guna sangosya, by association with gunas. Everyone is contaminated. Because we are in a material condition, we are contaminated either by sattva guna, by rajoguna, or by tamoguna. Even if one becomes a qualified brahmana in the mode of goodness, sattva guna, he is still materially contaminated, because goodness is also a material quality. One must come to the platform of Shuddha Sattva, or pure goodness, transcending the Sattva Guna. Then one is Vidhuta Trillinga, cleansed of the contamination caused by the three modes of material nature. So when you come into pure goodness, then you are free from all the other three material qualities. This is possible by the mercy of Krishna. What is possible? Coming to Shuddha Sattva, it is possible by the mercy of Krishna. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-17, Shrinvatam swakatha Krishnaha punyashravana kirtanaha hridyantastho hyabhadrani vidhunoti, cleansed. Suhrit satam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages. So, even if you want more direct answer, how we can overcome, you simply hear Krishna's messages. This is direct statement from Bhagavatam. Shrinvatam, you simply hear Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Go on hearing. By that, what will happen? All contaminations in the heart will be cleansed. So, how they are cleansed? I'll read that again. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So, simply hearing itself is virtuous, right? Punya. Punya Shravana Kirtana, it is Punya. You get pious credit simply by hearing. Not only that, the Lord is personally cleaning your heart of all your material desires. A person trying to be perfectly Krishna conscious, by hearing the words of Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, certainly has all the dirty things cleansed from the core of his heart. So if you simply keep hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, why? With what intention? With the intention of becoming pure in Krishna consciousness, right? He will have all the dirty things cleansed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, the process of hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord washes away the dirty things accumulated in the core of the heart. As soon as one is freed from all the dirt of material contamination, as Maharaj Yayati was, right? He was cleansed. So as soon as one is freed from all the dirt of material contamination, as Maharaj Yayati was, one's original position as an associate of the Lord is revealed. This is called Swarupa Siddhi or personal perfection. So his relationship with the Lord is revealed. If he's a pure devotee, his relationship with the Lord is revealed. And then he becomes a Parshada, an associate of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. Maharaj Yayati got that. He got that. So the process is hearing about the Lord. Right? Navada Bhakti, beginning with hearing, then chanting, remembering, like that. Okay, we will stop here. It's already 6:45 here and 8:15 for you. All of you have work, school. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. Hopefully from tomorrow we will read more. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
This chapter is more practical for households, Mataji. That's why it's so, at every stage we are connecting to ourselves and some thinking is going on. And Aditya Mataji is so good in expressing her questions, which is apt for all of us actually. It's very, so it starts to think and analyze ourselves actually. So that is why I think we are getting not stuck, but
we are moving very stopped. We are moving very slowly.
But it's not like a story that it's not like, okay, oh, now this person came, this is like, Vritrasur. It was more the glorification, but this chapter is hitting all the households, and that is the whole purpose Yayati was trying to tell.
Right.
So maybe that's why. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna. Acha, Rasa Priya wants to share something. I'll have to remove my virtual background. Yesterday during our class, she started making something and she asked, can I share it in class? I said, okay.
She's back.
Now she's doing more. She's doing 3D things now. This is...
Wow. Oh, what is... It's a mold?
Yeah, she used clay, modeling clay.
Wow.
And she made... Lord Ramchandra and wait 1 second, let me take this thing off here.
So pretty.
Aditi, can she bring it little closer?
Yeah, it's moving away, going away.
Can she turn it around?
Turn around.
Turn around. It's like how
I cannot see, Mataji.
so
Cannot
nice.
see. Lord Ramchandra.
Very beautiful.
Ah.
Very
Nice, Rasapriya.
Very.
And this
Will
is
it stay
Lakshman.
long, I suppose, right? So nice.
Yeah, it will stay. It will stay.
Mataji, you can take picture and share
The garlands are also very beautiful, Rasapriya. Colorful.
Mataji, please send pictures in the group, Mataji, and
Send
like
pictures, okay.
and a small video where she's turning around. I really want to see the
Wow.
detail behind.
Sita Mata.
Yes. And
So
Lakshman.
beautiful. Oh my
Where's Hanuman?
God.
Lakshman. Oh, Hanuman she didn't make.
Yeah.
She made
Yeah,
Lakshman today
Lakshman,
during class.
It's
Oh
like
my
Jai
God.
Shri Ram, Ayodhya Shri Ram in the
Exactly.
context.
She said that's what she was thinking
Oh,
when she was making, because
that's very nice. Mataji, if she can take it close up and like a video turning around, so we get to see the complete.
okay.
It's really nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Good job, Rasapriya.
Nice, Rasapriya.
Ah, good job.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.